Genghis Khan, known as the Khan of the Burned Earth, led a nomadic army that ruthlessly exterminated men and old men. Typically, young girls and women were not killed, but rather taken away. Just so you know, if warriors surrendered, they were actually accepted for service, instead of being killed. Genghis Khan followed the laws of Yasi faithfully. Despite the inherent cruelty of the era, Genghis Khan managed to be a just and powerful ruler. Former enemies were even honored to serve in his army. Genghis Khan was revered by the people of the steppe, who spoke of him with great admiration. They described him as a generous and noble leader, willing to give up his own possessions for the benefit of others. This individual possesses exceptional leadership skills, ensuring the prosperity of their society, the well-being of their soldiers, and the efficient management of their household. It is worth noting that there was indeed a level of meritocracy present in Genghis Khan's empire, despite what many believe. Historians have noted that the Mongol army included a significant number of women. There were not just concubines, but also warriors who were fully prepared for battle. European women, with their fair complexions and unique beauty, were highly prized by the Mongols. Beautiful women who were held captive had the opportunity to survive, albeit without love or harmony, but at least without experiencing humiliation or mockery. After the fall of Gorganj, the capital of the Khwarezmian Empire, the powerful Turkan Khatun, along with her relatives, were captured and taken captive. The children of members of the ruling dynasty were swiftly eliminated, while the women of the harem were bestowed upon Genghis Khan's subordinates as wives. The fate of the former Shaheen and the Lady of Women took a tragic turn. She, along with other noblemen from Khwarezm, was sent as part of a captive caravan to the Mongolian capital of Karakorum. Their purpose was to serve the court of the great Khan. The concubines. It was a common practice for noble Mongol warriors to take captive women for their harems. First and foremost, it was seen as a symbol of social standing. Additionally, it is worth noting that Mongols held European women in high regard. Furthermore, the Mongols viewed captured women as a significant symbol of triumph over their adversaries, demonstrating the undeniable superiority of the victor. The Mongols held the belief that those who couldn't safeguard their women were deemed unworthy of life itself. Even though concubines were expected to unquestioningly obey their lords, some captives were able to rise to prominent positions within their new families. Dorajin, the wife of Genghis Khan's third son, Ogode, is considered one of the most renowned captives, despite not being European. She was under his rule from 1246 to 1248. After her husband passed away, the woman achieved remarkable leadership and governed Mongolia for a significant 4-year period. The victims. Tragically, the lives of countless female captives were cut short even before they entered the harem and were labeled as concubines. Following the capture of villages and towns, a horrifying wave of violence swept through, with innocent civilians subjected to unspeakable acts of brutality before being tragically taken from this world. Several individuals tragically took their own lives following that event. Leaders often bestowed young women upon warriors as a reward for their bravery in battle, allowing them to enjoy themselves. Regrettably, this mindset was prevalent towards women in general, and girls with a European appearance were highly valued and seen as a valuable gift for a courageous warrior. Given the uncertain future and high risk of death, the warrior seized the opportunity and made the most of the present circumstances. Of course, there were instances where the unfortunate managed to survive and were even brought along with the caravan for a period of time. Typically, women who managed to survive the nomads' activities were deemed useless to society. Some unfortunate individuals may have been abandoned in the steppe, left to perish due to their lack of nourishment or exhaustion. However, it is important to note that many Mongols made efforts to uphold the honor of women and had no intention of causing harm to them. It was common practice for warriors to offer or trade captives of great beauty to their commanders. The Mongols, being practical individuals, didn't just destroy anything that could benefit them financially or elevate their status. The fate of the captives who ended up in Genghis Khan's harem is quite revealing. Genghis Khan's concubines. Genghis Khan had 4 official wives and, according to some sources, over 7,000 concubines. The great Khan's prowess in the realm of sexual pleasures was not the sole reason for his reputation. The captured women, particularly those from Europe, served as a symbol of Genghis Khan's power and further solidified his authority. Following each raid, the Khan would be presented with the most stunning women and girls. He would then decide whether to gift them to his loyal warlords or add them to his harem as precious additions. Although women in the harem lacked power, they were not subjected to torture or harassment. These women were provided with ample nourishment, encouraged to take care of themselves, and instructed in playing musical instruments or other essential skills as needed. They frequently utilized the talents of the captives, which could prove advantageous. Now, let's delve into the intriguing account of Chinese General Meng Hun. According to his writings, during a diplomatic mission to the north, our messenger found himself in the company of the Khan, who graciously invited him to partake in a celebratory feast. To our messenger's surprise, he was seated alongside the Khan's wife, Princess Lyman, and 8 concubines, who were referred to as ladies during every meal. This unique experience left a lasting impression on our messenger. The concubines possessed a stunningly fair complexion and exquisite beauty. Notably, women who possessed beauty or skills in the harem of the great Khan were treated differently. It's hard to believe that in our modern era, women were referred to as ladies, but as history shows, it was a societal expectation at the time. During the reign of the renowned Khan Genghis Khan, a captivating element of his entourage was a group of 20 young ladies who were skilled musicians. These talented individuals accompanied Genghis Khan on all of his military campaigns, providing a melodic backdrop to his conquests. The renowned conqueror, with an intriguing demeanor, had a deep passion and admiration for music. It's interesting to note that the wives of defeated lords from other states would often become the Khan's concubines. According to a legend, one of his closest associates was told by the Khan himself about the ultimate pleasure for a man. The Khan believed that a man's greatest joy came from conquering his enemies, making them flee, seizing their possessions, witnessing their loved ones in tears, riding their horses, and embracing their daughters and wives. Receiving concubines as rewards or through other means was a common practice among rulers like Genghis Khan. For female prisoners, gaining entry into the harem of a powerful leader was often seen as a favorable outcome. There is a fascinating story of a Khan who, after having a prophetic dream, decided to give away one of his concubines. It's fascinating how the Khan provided an explanation for giving away his wife. Once again, this highlights the treatment of women during Genghis Khan's era, not always as equals, but with a certain level of respect. Unfaithfulness was the one offense that could lead to the execution of a concubine, regardless of whether the Khan was involved with her or not. Genghis Khan had a strong sense of ownership and was fiercely protective of his property. For instance, it was widely known that the Khan had a deep fascination with Kulan of the Market clan. Nai was sent to introduce the beauty to the Khan, as he was a close associate. During the return journey, Nai, concerned about the warrior's behavior, decided to host the young woman at his place for 3 days. In a fit of rage, Genghis Khan demanded the servant be executed. However, Kulan bravely intervened, defending Nai by revealing his claim to noble lineage. Due to the presence of resentful warriors, he decided to leave us at his residence. I can't imagine what would have become of us if we hadn't crossed paths with Nai and he hadn't taken us under his wing. Please spare him from torture, but if the Khan is willing to show me mercy, I kindly request that my innocence be thoroughly investigated. This passage encapsulates all the points discussed earlier. If the captive did not have the fortune of becoming a concubine for the Mongol leaders or the Khan himself, it was likely that she would become the source of entertainment for the ordinary warriors, who were generally not very formal. After they were finished with her, she met a tragic fate, either through their actions or her own impending demise. We hope you liked this video, subscribe to the channel if you're a history addict, and please let us know about what civilization or time period we should talk about. Also, watch another video here.